Hey everyone, this is Syntax, and today we're going to be taking a look at every secret / Easter egg you might have missed in Mannequin Warehouse The Night Shift. Of course, let me know which ones you already knew about, and which ones, of course, you didn't, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. Located in the left hall, if you use the camera to, of course, observe it, just slightly behind the door and next to the water cooler shelf, you can see a small miniature camera. This is actually a reference to 2 of my previous maps. The first map it's referencing is a bit of an older map, and it was the last map in its series. It is actually Endless Inception 4. There were 2 base endings in this map and a 3rd secret ending. If you found these 3 miniature cameras around the map and interacted with them, it would unlock the secret ending. The second map it's referencing is one of my more popular maps, and it's a little less obvious, but it is in fact Cartoon Cat. You had to go through that map and interact with 6 different cameras, refilling the batteries, and I figured I would just throw it in there because it's one of my more popular maps, and yeah, that's the camera Easter egg. Let me know if you knew about it. Located in the janitor's closet just behind this toolbox, you can actually see a marked page from Slender's Curse, the 8 pages. It's a little hard to see, but it's just staggered slightly behind this toolbox, and yeah, if you just go in there, you could find it. And the last Easter egg reference to a previous map, you can actually find it located in the storage room. There is a miniature version of the Midas statue wearing the Boogeyman's hat. Yes, this is from, of course, the Boogeyman at the end where he puts his hat on the Midas statue. You can find it in the storage room. On to some of the Easter eggs and secrets regarding the mannequins. Distortion's starting position is actually sitting in this chair in the storage room. You just can't see it because it's hidden by that column in the middle of the room. The first position we're able to see him is him standing just behind the column, but he is actually sitting in the storage room before he gets there. He doesn't just appear out of thin air, in case that's what you thought the case was. And for those of you wondering what it actually looks like in the dark, it's pretty horrifying. The poster that can be found on the left side of the office is actually not just placed there for aesthetic effect. It is meant to directly reference Smiley's face, and I'm sure you can imagine why. Located on the floor on the right side of your desk, you'll notice this teddy bear holding a knife. Now, if you let Smiley get into your office, when he jump scares you, if you look, you'll notice the teddy bear is no longer holding this knife, and that is because Smiley has decided to take it from the teddy bear and use it to kill you. Fun fact about Vex, she is actually the only mannequin with fingers. This is actually done on purpose and by design because this allows her to open the vent if you fail to lock it. So that is why she has a hand, because it allows her to open the vent. Fun fact about Split, his original design actually had blood dripping from his head, and I'll explain why he actually had blood coming from his head here in a second, but I had to remove the blood from the final product because Epic required it for it to be featured. So I guess I sacrificed the blood for a feature, but his original design did have blood. There's a story that I came up with for this map when I originally released it. I just didn't really tell anyone, and it's basically the origin story to why the mannequins can move around how they do. Basically, there is a serial killer that stuffs the bodies of his victims inside of these hollow mannequin shells, and the reason they can move is because that is the souls of the people who he stuffed inside these mannequin shells, which is kind of similar to the Five Nights at Freddy's story, but I mean, hey, could you blame me? So yeah, if you didn't know, the mannequins that are walking around the warehouse at night actually have people stuffed inside of them, which segues really nicely into what I'm about to explain here in just a sec. If you look around the warehouse, you'll notice a lot of these really stiff mannequin shells in every room. Basically, there's a lot of stiff mannequin shells. However, if you go into the storage room and you take a look left, you will see this guy that lacks any sort of stiffness at all. It almost looks like it's slouching. If you haven't already figured it out, this is because for whatever reason, this mannequin shell was not stiff, and there is in fact a body stuffed inside the top half of this. And if you're wondering where his lower half is, well, it's right next to him. Hi, Distortion. Now, this next Easter egg is a pretty big reveal, but if you go back and watch the trailer, there is a section where the anonymous speaker says this.
Night watch just quit. He called me in the middle of the night and said, quote, he saw one of the mannequins move on its own. Yeah. I went over the next morning to check on him, and he was already gone, so that was that. Probably just a little messed up in the head, if you ask me, but anyway, you were just in the nick of time.
Now, if you haven't already put 2 and 2 together, I guess I'll explain it for you, but the previous night watch is actually Split. What happened was he saw Distortion moving in the middle of the night. He called the manager, was like, yo, there's a mannequin moving, and then Distortion came, killed him, and stuffed him inside of Split's body. The original mannequin shell Distortion was going to use didn't actually have a split open head, but he needed a spot to put the body body, so he had to split open the head and stuff the body inside, and that is actually the reason it had blood coming from the head, because it was relatively recent. So yeah, if you didn't know, the previous Night Watch was killed by Distortion and stuffed inside of the shell of a mannequin, creating the character we know as Split. A little bit less of a morbid fact about Split, he actually has a chance to go inside of the janitor's closet, and located inside of this janitor's closet is actually this little teddy bear with a hat on. If you ever look at Split through the left hall cam at your window, or when he's jump scaring you, he can actually be seen holding this teddy bear. Jumping back to the trailer for this one, if you listen, there's actually a part where the anonymous speaker explains why the mannequins have faces.
Make sure no kids are coming in and tearing up the place, you know, drawing faces on the mannequins and whatnot. We had a couple of them vandalized already, so
The only reason that Distortion and Smiley and Vex actually have faces is because kids came in and vandalized the mannequins. They drew faces on them, so the faces they have are actually from just a bunch of annoying kids drawing them on them. And the last thing I wanted to say is not really a secret or an Easter egg, it's just more of a behind the scenes thing, but I just wanted to give you a little perspective on what the mechanics looked like for this map, because if you didn't think they were complicated, just go into replay mode and take a look at them. They are ridiculous. But yeah, guys, there you have it. That is every secret slash Easter egg located inside Mannequin Warehouse the Night Shift. Please let me know which ones you were already fully aware of and which ones took you by surprise. Of course, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, this has been Syntax. Later.